Hey guys, welcome back to Team Death Slinger. My name is Peter, and today I want to talk about content creation and why I think you guys should also make Digimon content. I've had some life circumstances that have kind of had me thinking about this a little bit more than I normally do, but I think I have enough that I kind of want to mention, maybe convince you guys who are on the fence about making videos to do so, because a lot of reasons that we'll talk about in just a moment. First, I want to address kind of a sentiment that I hear a lot on the creator side as well as on the viewer side about I have nothing to contribute, or that people shouldn't make videos if they don't have anything to actively contribute to a discussion. The idea that a lot of videos are just noise, that they're pointless, that you just, if you don't have anything significant to say, that you shouldn't say it. I disagree with that. And I disagree for a number of reasons. I don't think that discussion around cards or decks has to be exclusively breakthroughs and innovations. I think conversation is worth having just for a sense of community. It's worth discussing things so that you can find innovation, breakthroughs. You are making videos at the end of the day, probably for yourself more so than your audience. It's something that you probably enjoy doing if you're making them. And I just think that this idea that you have to have something profound to say anything at all, is mistaken. Your voice, your personality, the way you present information might resonate with some people more than others. There might be people who watch me, not necessarily for the content of my videos, but maybe they like me as a person, or they like the way that I talk about things, or that I convey information to them, and that makes me worth watching to them. You never know if you might be that for somebody else, and you'll never find out if you never actually make a video and try and get something across to people that you find interesting or engaging. There's also the fact that different perspectives are valuable even when the facts are the same. The same core deck list talked about from a casual or competitive POV will resonate with a different audience. A really good recent example of this would be the new Digimon support. Digidane made a video and I made a video. Digidane's video is going to be more centered around what is actually good, about what he's played at locals, about maybe what he wants to play at regionals, and with some results attached to it. Mine is just, what do I think is cool? What do I think is fun? What might be an interesting idea that I can do with the card? And we're going to have different audiences that care about those videos for different reasons, rather than just the fact that the cards are probably 90% the same. It doesn't really matter in that sense. Another really, I guess, important thing to think about here is that passion is contagious. It's a really nice little condensed way to say that if you really like a card, a strategy, a deck, or an archetype, and you talk about it and you present that information to people, you're going to make people care about it and people are going to become invested in it. Just because you don't have anything groundbreaking to say about it doesn't mean that other people won't care about it. My first video was a Chaos Gauntlet video in EX4. There was nothing crazy to say about the deck. It was really, quite honestly, a pretty bad deck, but people were really excited for that. There was a lot of discussion in the comments, and people were just interested and excited to talk about Chaos Gallantmon, even though I really wasn't contributing anything new to the discussion. And I think that's a testament to the fact that if I can do it, I think you guys can do it too. This channel is built on videos about cards or decks that I just like. I have nothing to add in any real discussions about how good decks are. I have no competitive accolades. I don't have any results. But people just enjoy talking about decks they like. People like talking about Rasenmon. They like talking about Chaos Gallantmon, Minervamon, whatever their favorite Digimon is. There's somebody whose favorite Digimon is the card you want to talk about. And all you have to do is be passionate enough about it that other people want to talk about it with you, which I think is just really important to remember. You're doing this for yourself. You're going to find people who are also interested in what you enjoy, and that's going to create discussion, and that alone is purpose enough to make content on what you enjoy. So with that said, let's talk about some obvious benefits of making videos, because I think there's some real life things that translate from videos, and that's kind of what's inspired me to make this video in the first place, is that there are tangible takeaways from making videos and practicing talking to a camera or to an audience. The first of which is just going to be improved written and spoken communication skills. You're going to get better at talking. You're going to get better at making your points. You're going to get better at putting information on the screen. That's kind of the second point, is practice organizing and explaining and defending your points. You're going to have to say what you want to say and figure out how to convey it to the people who watch your video or find it in an effective way. You don't want to take 3 minutes to explain one point. People are going to get bored. They're going to click off. So you got to be able to say what you want to say and articulate yourself well. And that's a skill that you develop over time. It's going to cultivate your artistic skill and your creative decision making with thumbnails. You got to figure out, how do I grab people's attention? Do I want to clickbait or do I want a direct summary? That's kind of the difference between, is my thumbnail going to be something that says something like, I almost died, and then it's a regionals video and it just talks about how you played 8 rounds at a regionals and it took a really long time and you were tired and bored at the end of it? Or am I going to post a video that has a picture of Dorogoromon and it's called Dorogoromon deck profile, and the only people who care about it are the people who care about Dorogoromon? You're not trying to draw on a wider audience, and that's a decision you get to make, and it kind of develops into what you believe in and what you want to showcase yourself as. So You're also going to get better at the game. You're going to consistently make videos, and that's going to eventually force you to branch out and try something new. I mean, in the ideal circumstances, you would be consistently making videos. You will eventually run out of things to make videos on in your comfort zone if you are consistently making videos. I had to branch out from purple. That is mostly what I made videos about. And when I decided I wanted to make X amount of videos every week, it forced me to play other colors. I had to get at least a baseline understanding of colors. I never wanted to touch like yellow or green or blue. They're just things that, you know, you're going to have new cards that come out in a color, and you're probably going to make a profile about it, and it's going to be good for you to have to make profiles about that, learn how they work, understand what the cards do, and that's going to make you a better player as you learn and understand these things. You're going to learn more about card interactions and play styles. You're going to make content on new decks and strategies. That's, of course, assuming that we're talking about the Digimon TCG and not just Digimon content as a whole, but making content on something in general will help you understand it better. And for those of us who, this game has a wide audience that cares about competitive results, that's just going to be good for you in terms of your ability to play the game. You're also going to, I think, kind of most importantly here, you're going to find your niche. You're going to figure out what people find appealing about your content, and I think it reveals what people appreciate you for as a person as well. A lot of compliments or comments I get that are positive aren't necessarily about strictly my content. It could be about the way that I present information. I had somebody say that I would be great in meetings because of the way that I talk and the way I communicate things. And you're just going to find things out about yourself through making videos and presenting information. And as part of engaging with people and having a dialogue back and forth with people is that you're going to learn and you're going to find out and recognize what you're good at, which is healthy and I think good for you. Kind of also in the same vein, you're going to be able to build a community. You're going to find people who resonate with your voice, who agree with what you're saying, or maybe have a similar line of thinking, even if they don't agree 100% with what you're saying. And that group of people are going to share similar interests and you're going to have the opportunity to form personal and professional connections. So you're going to be able to make some friends. I have plenty of people in my Discord who I talk to pretty regularly. We chat about new cards. We talk about what's interesting. I know things about their personal lives I would consider as friends. You're going to collaborate with people. I have the screenshot on the right, just some people that I've collaborated with that I enjoy, who I would collaborate with. Again, there's other people obviously not shown here who I talk to. I've had the opportunity to talk to like DigiDane, I guess he's on the right, DigiPanda, Barney from DigiGuard United, Kavinsky, just a lot of people that I've had the opportunity to talk to that I wouldn't have the chance to talk to if I didn't start making videos. And then obviously I mentioned it earlier, but you can make a Discord, you can cultivate relationships there, and do interesting things with people. You have the opportunity to host events, talk to people, play games with people, just all kinds of things that are good for you, and I think making videos partially worth it. So these are people who are going to help you improve, refine your ideas, and expand your interests outside of your niche. They might expand your horizons a little bit in the types of decks you play or what cards you think are good. I've had conversations with people where they like the fact that I do deck profiles on a specific subject matter. They don't necessarily agree with some of the tech choices I make, and then we talk about that and we find things that we agree are good, things we don't agree, and you get practice explaining yourself, defending your points, and maybe your opinion changes and you try something new. So I think that's also really important and it's super worth doing as part of making videos. We do also have to consider the downsides here. Making videos is not all sunshine and roses. There are some things that you have to deal with. There's criticism, hate comments, and confrontation. I don't think criticism is inherently bad, but you're going to have to learn how to accept it. Not all criticism is valid. I think all criticism comes from a place, though. People are probably putting down some, not necessarily putting down, but if people are giving you valid criticism, it's because there is something that they genuinely think you can improve on. And I think that's worth considering at least. And not everything is personal. You don't, just because somebody doesn't like the way you did something, the way you presented information, maybe they don't agree with the content of the information that you're posting, that doesn't mean it's personal. That doesn't mean they hate you. That doesn't mean that they want to put you down and make sure that you never succeed or anything like that. You just have to accept that they're trying to help you potentially improve, that they have a suggestion for you, and just not take things personally. There's also discouragement. It's really easy to get discouraged by low view counts, especially after you post a video that does relatively well. I know that even with 2,000 subscribers, it doesn't feel any better when I post a video that gets 1,000 views and the next video I post gets like 400 or 500, but that's part of it. I mean, you're not going to probably consistently get the same number of views on every single video. You're going to have ups and downs because success is not linear. You don't just consistently improve and have things go straight up. You will have dips, you will have highs and lows, and that's okay. You just have to learn how to digest that emotionally. Creative burnout also exists. Sometimes you're going to feel like you have to make content even when you're uninspired. It's part of it. You don't necessarily have to. You might feel like you have to. Just up to you and how you want to operate your channel. But breaks are okay. It's okay to take a step back, reset, and refocus yourself when you have your creative passion back. There's also the comparison trap. It kind of goes hand in hand with discouragement, but comparing yourself to bigger creators is a trap. When I was much smaller, like 300 or 400 subs, I was always looking at other creators, asking why I can't have views like that, why I can't draw an audience like they do, which in a sense can help you improve in some aspects, but it also is a way to make yourself feel really bad when you look at other people doing similar content to you and you see that their views are way higher. So you need to focus on your self-improvement and walking your own path. So why do I want to talk about this so much? What was going on in my life that I decided that I wanted to make a video talking about benefits, downsides, and skills related to content creation? It seems a little bit out of left field. That is because I received a job opportunity due to the skills that I directly cultivated through making YouTube videos. I was not a good speaker before I started this. If you look at my first YouTube video, I am stuttering. I'm reading off a script. The camera angle is bad. The presentation is bad. And these are all skills that I have improved on, and that culminated in me applying for a job. I just graduated college last weekend, so this culminated in me applying to a job and being directly told by the person interviewing me that the reason I was being considered, even though I did not have the skill set that they were directly looking for, my written application was extremely good. They liked the way it was worded. They thought I had good communication skills. They interviewed me in person. They said that I spoke very well, that for a computer science major, that I was more outspoken, I seemed more extroverted, I seemed easier to work with, and for those reasons, they wanted to move forward with me over other potential applicants that they were already talking to and trying to move forward for. So these are real tangible skills that you will take with you further in life, and I think that's important to recognize too. So you'll get confidence in professional and social settings. Building experience speaking in front of a regular audience is important. You're going to have to speak, well, you might not have to, but depending on your profession, speaking in front of meetings, that happens. Speaking in front of coworkers happens. You might need to speak in front of strangers. Like, speaking is a part of life, and getting good at it is a skill that nobody will ever be able to take away from you. At least that's the way I look at it. You're going to have to think on your feet a little bit, and it's going to start to become second nature the more you do videos and speak about topics that you know about. You're going to get better at adding like quips and details to your explanations in real time, kind of blending the things that you're saying from your head and the things that are on the screen. You probably notice me doing that a lot. You transition between the two. That's important. That's a good skill to have. You're going to create a personal brand. That matters less, but if you go into something where people actually care about what you've done, you might be able to show your YouTube channel as a portfolio of like self-driven work that you've done, and they might care about that. So that is just kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Just really brief video talking about why I think people should make videos, some tangible takeaways from that, and maybe encourage you guys to start making some videos and get some ideas out there for things that you enjoy and talk about things that you love. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.
Thank you to our channel members for supporting this channel. It's people like Langlong, Big Z11, Coffee Deus, and DigiDane who make videos like this possible.